Good day, you beautiful people of YouTube. It's the Mad Marine here, and today we're going to be talking about why you need to buy an AK-47 and why you should buy one over an AR-15. Now, if you could do me a huge favor and please subscribe, share, comments, and like, really helps out the channel tremendously. Now let's go ahead and do a quick safety check for all you safety-minded individuals and you safety Nazis. Now, we'll look in here and we can see the magazine and the magazine follower. Our elevator that has nothing in it, and as we can see in here, nothing in the barrel or chamber, so that weapon is clear, good to go. And we are going to look here at the Wasser 10, nothing in the magazine, nothing in the barrel or chamber, we're good to go. Let me get that in there. All right, now for those of you who don't realize, there's actually a panic or gun scare going on right now, and everyone is buying up everything everywhere, and they are buying everything as far as guns, parts, magazines, ammunition. Now let's let history be our guide. This has happened before, this will happen again. So basically every 4 years, or whenever the gun debate really kicks off, there's a panic or there's a scare, and people buy up guns and ammunition right and left and spend an exorbitant amount of money that if they'd bought at a different time would have been significantly less. Now, with it being 2020, an election year in the United States, and all the craziness happening in 2020, if you haven't looked at the news recently, people are very concerned in buying lots of guns, lots of ammunition. I believe there were 3.9 million background checks done in the U.S. in the month of June or July, which is the most there ever been. And every month it looks like this year has been a record high. I believe I saw one site reporting that at least 10 million to 20 million guns had been sold in the U.S. Don't quote me on that, but that's just me from memory seeing like something that 10 or 20 million guns had been sold in 2020 so far. Pretty astounding numbers. Which would explain the shortage, because people are buying guns at ridiculous amounts. So I want to talk about the peak price during panics, what they are now, and what they are normally. Now, a bolt carrier group for an AR-15, those are usually the things that go first during a panic. The other thing that follows is the lower receivers. Now, last time there was a huge panic, bolt carrier groups were $200 at the peak. Right now they're $110, and some of these bolt carrier groups used to be $50 prior to the panic. Last time during peak pricing, low receivers, and it didn't matter what it was, some of them were even more than $200, but they were $200 for just a stripped lower receiver. Right now the cheap ones, and these are the cheap ones and they're drying up quick, are $60 to $80. They used to be $31 at a good sale for an Anderson AR stripped low receiver. That's very bare bones, bottom of the barrel, but you could find something for that would work for an AR if you're trying to build an entry level. Now you're paying significantly more. Now, a basic AR-15 basically will be $1,000 at peak prices. Right now it's at $800 as a basic AR is going to cost you, and that's the bottom. Most people are almost already now paying $800, $900, almost $1,000 more for an AR that normally would cost them anywhere from about $450 to $600. Ammunition, the peak price for ammunition for like 223, 5.56 is $1 a round. Extraordinarily expensive if you pull the trigger and then bang, that's $1. Right now, ammunition is at 60 cents a round for new production brass, and it used to be about 25 cents for new production brass. Last time there was a huge panic, I actually sold an AR, and I had no intention of selling it. I was at the range, met a nice Navy guy. I was in the Marines. We talked shop a little bit. He asked if he could shoot my AR. Let him shoot it. He said he loves it. He asked if I would sell it. I said I wasn't looking to, but everything of mine has a price, and I ended up selling an AR that I had about $1,300 in it, and I sold it for $3,000 to this guy, and I did not give him the price. He gave me the price, and I couldn't turn it down. Now, most parts are going to be out of stock or on back order. And I'm actually suffering that right now. I have a part that I ordered in April. It's now August and it's still not here, and they're telling me it won't even be shipped until September. So right now most parts are back ordered at least 1 to 3 months, and premium AR prices have actually doubled. So if you are going to buy a premium AR-15 that was at like $1,000, it may be close to $2,000 now. So I highly don't recommend buying a premium AR at this point. Now, we've talked about ammo a little bit. Old brass prices are currently 60 cents a shot. They used to be 25 cents a shot. Steel ammunition currently is 41 cents a shot, and it used to be about 17 cents a shot. Reloads are currently 49 cents a shot, and they used to be about the same as steel ammunition. Now, mags have gone up a few dollars, but honestly, they're not bad. Now, whether it's the AR-15 or the AK-47 PMags, these are all about the same price. You're going to be spending anywhere from $10 to $15 for this, and you're going to be spending anywhere from about $10 to $15 for this. If you buy in bulk, you'll probably save some money, though. Good trick. And if you have some friends that want to go in with you, always a good idea to save yourself, split the shipping, buy in bulk. You'll save yourself a few bucks if you need to. Now, we've been talking a lot about the AR-15, why not to buy it. Let's talk about why buy an AK in 2020 over an AR-15. Now, one reason will be the overall cost is cheaper or equivalent to a basic AR-15. This Yugoslavian M70AB2 is a basic AK. This Wasser has some upgrades, so I don't really count that as a basic, but the base model is it's a basic AK, it just has some upgrades to it. So the base price is equivalent or less than an AR. AK or premium AKs have only gone up by a little bit. Now this is like your Arsenal's AKs. They're usually around $1,100. Right now they're about $1,300. So I would recommend, if you want an Arsenal AK, it's not a bad time to buy. The other thing is ammunition. Ammunition for AKs currently is 23 to 26 cents a shot. Now, contrast that with AR ammunition, new production, which this is new production, it just happens to be steel. It is 60 cents a shot versus 23 cents a shot. Or if you want to buy the steel AR ammo and buy the steel AK ammo, again, 23 cents a shot for the AK ammo and 41 cents a shot for the AR ammo. Pretty much double to triple as far as prices. Now, normally AK ammo is only 20 cents to 22 cents a round. It's only gone up 3 cents to 6 cents, or 3 to 6 cents a shot right now. That's not awful pricing, even percentage-wise. And the other thing is AKs retain their value. Entry-level ARs before 2020 were about $650. Right now, AKs are $750 to $1,300. AKs will be at their peak prices basically $1,000 for a basic AK. Basic AK is going to be about $1,000 and up. So these will retain their value now. If you buy one and you don't like it at $750 at the peak, probably right around October, you could probably sell it for $1,000. If you don't like it, do it. I would encourage you to keep it, but you do you. Now, I would get a Wasser 10, something similar to this, but without all the upgrades. Or I would get a Yugoslavian, an older one, or they have new production, Zastava USA, and they're kind of like this, similar, but they're new production. They have much better barrels, and they're very tough. I would highly recommend a Zastava USA, or a Yugoslavian, or a Wasser. Those would be my basics I would go to. If you happen to have $1,300 and you want to spend it on the Arsenal, I would do it. They're really not any more than their normal prices, maybe $100 to $200 more than their normal prices. Now, I've been talking about this Yugoslavian, and as you can see, this is one from 1989. I don't know if that's making it in there. And then it has the model number. This is from Zastava, and I won't bother saying the second word, and Yugoslavia. These things have a lot of history behind them. This gun has been absolutely fantastic. It's built like a tank. It has the underfolder, which is kind of cool, so you can just drop the stock out, and voila, there you go. You have the stock, shoulder it, and then it has the grenade sight. Kind of cool, but who has grenades? Because I sure don't. But it's just neat. And actually, once upon a time, had night sights, but those are gone. So, kind of neat. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the good old Wasser 10. The other gun I would buy is a Wasser 10. Now, it's going to come with wood furniture, more than likely. And the only thing I would tell you about the Wasser 10 is if you're buying an older one, and I would say older with an abundance of caution, anything basically before 2012, you might want to test fire it beforehand. Now, one great thing about the Wassers is on the trunnion, they'll have a date sometimes up here or here, but one of the things in the Wasser's new production is the very last number will actually show the date when it was manufactured. So this one was manufactured in 2014. I would say anything manufactured in 2012 after, you should be absolutely fine with. Some of the older ones had more canted sights, front sight, or had some other minor issues, but those were few and far between, and they generally worked, but there were just minute little annoyances that people didn't like. So again, I would buy these couple variants of weapons. Now, there are AK pistols, and right now I would tell you, don't buy an AK pistol. And the reason why is because you're going to want to buy a brace for it, and the ATF is... The rumor mill is the ATF is potentially looking into braces and may make a new ruling saying whether or not they're legal or illegal, whether or not they meet certain standards. And so it would be terrible for something like the braces to basically go the way of the bump stocks, and the ATF just make unilateral ruling saying bump stocks are no more, even though multiple times they've said braces are fine. So, if you want to buy an AK and you feel like you need some more research on AKs, I would highly recommend you checking out a really awesome YouTube channel. I'm extraordinarily jealous of these guys. These guys are called the AK Operators Union. They're on YouTube. They're a great channel. They really test AKs and they push them to some limits and definitely torture them quite a bit. And you'll get to see what the AKs are capable of and which ones really hold up. And so they have a passion for what they do. They do way more cool stuff than I do, and I promise you'll be entertained. So check out AK Operators Union. The other thing, in the description below, there's a Google Sheet. Now, I always include in the description below a Google Sheet, and in that sheet usually has links for prices, for magazines, ammunition, guns, for the AKs, at least in this one. But whatever we're talking about, I always have a sheet in there. If you could do me a huge favor, and again, please share or subscribe and comment and like. This helps me out so much, and if you'd be so kind, if you actually purchase an AK, share in the comments below of what you purchased, how much you paid, and maybe where you got it. It'd be great to see just what people get, what's the market. And if you're finding a better deal, send me the link. I'll add it to the sheet so everyone else can do good off of your hard work and help them out and save some people a few bucks. It's the Mad Marine signing off. Have a great one.